This is Tom Ford's Ombre Leather, highly regarded as one of the highest rated men's fragrances ever made. But is it actually still good in 2025 onwards? Today I'm going to go over and review one of the latest batches of this fragrance, and I'm going to tell you if this fragrance is actually worth your money or not, because it's not cheap. Briefing over the presentation here, this is the box that it comes in. I bought the 100 ml, so the box is slightly bigger. Very, very plain box with some diamond detailing. It just says Tom Ford's Ombre Leather, Eau de Parfum concentration, which it is, in 100 ml or 3.4 fluid ounces. On the top of the box, you get the Tom Ford logo. On the back, information, ingredients. And on the bottom is where the barcode and batch number will be. Now the batch code to this fragrance, mine is C2424121, which makes this fragrance 9 months old, 2024 batch. The bottle, very, very plain, sleek presentation. Like the bottle represents what the fragrance would be quite well. I can't knock it. It doesn't look very appealing on a shelf, but the cap is pretty nice. Solid construction, Tom Ford logo on the top of the cap, and this kind of just frictions into place. But it's kind of flimsy, so be careful. Just says Tom Ford Ombre Leather on the front, and then on the bottom is your sticker with Eau de Parfum concentration there and how much is in there. So what does this fragrance smell like? That's why we're really here. Get to the point, Chad Secrets. The notes that are listed is top notes of cardamom, middle notes of leather and jasmine sambac, and base notes of amber, moss, and patchouli. But what are you actually smelling? You need to understand if you like leather with a fragrance, because this is the dominant characteristic of this fragrance. You're gonna get leather the entire time. If you do not like leather, this is not safe for you at all. But I do get some kind of varying differences than some other people have said. A lot of people have said that this smells like a leather boot, a leather couch, a new car. To me, it's a freshened up leather scent profile. Underneath this leather is where the jasmine sambac comes in. So this gives it this almost floral nature with a little bit of a fruity nuance that mixes quite nicely with the amber. So you're getting this kind of sweet, fruity kind of nuance with this floral edge and leather. Now, as this fragrance dries down and it settles on your skin, I pick up a little bit more on that cardamom, which gives this kind of spicy edge. It does not smell like you're smelling the hide of an animal, which some leather fragrances can do. It smells very, very clean, especially with that jasmine and the balance of the amber. I think that the perfumery to this is done amazingly. I've worn this fragrance in the fall. I've worn it in the winter. The warm weather, yes, this is kind of towards the dry down. This is like where I would say this is only exclusively like a winter fragrance, especially with the dominance of leather. So keep that in mind. Now, when would I wear this fragrance? I think that this is more suited for a man with style that is kind of 25 and up. I don't think this is better suited for the younger audiences. In fact, I couldn't see a younger man wearing this. You could wear this to the office, just go lighter. You could wear this on a date if you want to kind of show yourself as a stylish man. I could also totally see this being worn black tie. Like you could wear this dressed up as a wedding guest. You could wear this with a leather jacket because it would definitely suit that very well. In terms of gender-wise, I think that this is definitely towards the masculine spectrum, but it is balanced out with some of those florals, which makes it a little leaning towards the less masculine side in the opening, and then it dries down to the more masculine side. I hope that you guys understand what I'm saying there. So, do I think this is a good blend of a fragrance? I absolutely do. I think that it is a very masterfully done fragrance, and in fact, I'm surprised I did not have this in my collection earlier. The only thing that was stopping me from having this in my collection sooner is the price tag. The price point, $312 Canadian for 100 ml, or you can get a 50 ml for $210 Canadian. That is very, very expensive. I completely understand that. That's why I always recommend buying discounter, because I think I bought that for a relatively reasonable price on a discounter. I think it was around $200 Canadian for 100 ml, if I remember correctly, on Fragrance Buy. I can't remember, I'm sorry. I buy so many fragrances, it's hard to remember, and it's out of stock, so I don't know. But it's probably around there. If I find a link to where this is available, I'll leave it in the description, and it's gonna be a lot more affordable than retail. The scent profile to itself is great, but what about the performance? Because I know a lot of people care about that. So what I've noticed about this fragrance, the opening is very strong, but it definitely balances out later on. When you actually initially spray this on, this is like a 3-foot projector. It's actually quite strong, but that only lasts to me about the first half an hour to an hour. Then it starts to work its way back. This is the point where the cardamom starts to show its head to me a little bit more. I get kind of a balance between the jasmine, the amber, the leather, and the cardamom. It goes from the 3-foot projector back to about, I would say, like a half foot to a foot of projection. So you're still gonna smell it. Now, the thing this fragrance does interestingly is it kind of maintains this same projection until like the 6 to 8 hour mark. I noticed that this lasts on my skin around 8 to 10 hours on average, sometimes preferring that 10-hour mark. So the performance to an eau de parfum concentration fragrance, I think is very, very good. It's exactly what I would want out of a leather type of fragrance. Leather, you have to understand, in high amounts, definitely in closed environments, you could choke someone out with a leather fragrance. So you don't want them to be too overpowering in the form of leather. And leather dominance, I mean, unless you're some like dominatrix or something, it's just not a good look, okay? When you're choking people out with leather, unless that's your thing, I don't know, could be. But this fragrance in itself, good performance, good projection, great scent profile. The only thing is the versatility for me. I find that I can really only get away with this in the dull of winter when it's really, really cold outside. I wore this today. I literally sprayed this on in the gym, and it's great because I sprayed this on and it started fresh, and as I went outside, it kind of started to warm up a little bit, and you know, the weather was extremely cold and snowing. This is kind of the only time of years I will ever touch this fragrance. It will not be touched other times. That's the issue with this fragrance. Other than that, everything else is amazing, but you have to love leather. So with that being said, what would I give Tom Ford's Ombre Leather on a scale of 1 to 10? I would say an 8.75 out of 10. This is such an addicting fragrance for me. That is why it grew on me so much that I decided I needed a full bottle, and I'm very grateful to have this in my collection. Please, everyone, I want to hear what your opinion on Tom Ford's Ombre Leather is. Do you prefer this one or the Parfum? Do you even like leather fragrances? Let me know in the comments below, and what Tom Ford fragrance is your favorite. Now, if you like more risky designer fragrances that are not mass appealing at all, I highly suggest you check out this fragrance right here, because I absolutely love that one, and it's so addictive and bold. Just enough of me. Click this video right here and I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching.